Alright, so we're back with the only game that represents natural selection at its finest. It's species. I feel like the creatures have been pretty lackluster recently. There hasn't been a lot of cool traits getting through, and I found a way to completely fix that and also find out what is the most potent being in all the universe, New World, damn it. This is also the only game where I get constantly asked to evolve Bill Cosby. There is a commenter that has been diligently asking me to make Bill Cosby on every video that I make. You know what? Maybe Bill Cosby will come of this. So I have made two blank slates myself. I call it the IDGAF Predator and the IDGAF Herbivore. The game calls it something else, but the traits are there from the stuff I made. Basically, the base creature is something that has no morals, has sex with everything, is super violent, will attack everything on sight, eats constantly, never needs to sleep, and is otherwise just a complete and utter psychopath. Now, for the secondary thing that we're going to be doing here, I am going to inject the traits of every single creature I have ever made into the entire population. Everyone is getting injected with everything. I have so many different creatures that I've made since I've been playing this game. It's time to find out who the hell is the most supreme bastard of them all. On the plus side, I know this is gonna get us more than just potatoes. Prepare your anuses, creature, because Gray's about to screw all y'all up. Let's do it. The bad idea. Bigfoot, they're all coming in here. I don't even remember when the hell I made this, but whatever, get in there too. Brainatops, get your ass over there. Bruno Mars is gonna be up in this. I made a creature called Jimmy Biggums. I don't remember this, but whatever. Ah, Murderous Rex, my old friend. Oh my god, what the hell did I do here? You know it's bad when I'm telling myself to stop when I name these creatures. Sadness Maximus, you can't even see the creature because it's so big. That seems fantastic. That ain't gonna live. I always felt like this name sounded like some sort of illness. I named this one Sure. You can tell I just gave up at that point. Okay, everything's been spliced in. Let the nightmare begin. Okay, real quick, I have to show you guys something. When I started to splice everything in, we've got, oh my god. Some of these beings that have popped up are just the most freakish blimp-like entities I've ever seen. There's no way in hell they'll survive, but it's possible their DNA has been spliced into some of the other creatures in such a way that part of their being will live on. They basically look just like, it's almost like giant testicles sitting on little spindly legs. My god, I never expected it to get like this. So the beginning of our own level of Darwinism has begun, and Jesus, things have gotten to a level I never thought we would get to. We're at the point now where tumorous potatoes sitting on top of just a giant cancer-like orb of how do you describe this thing? It's like a mutated squash on the end of a pipe cleaner, sitting on top of a box of rocks that's filled with organs. I don't even know anymore. I don't know where the head begins and where the leg ends. This kind of looks like a Triceratops, except for the fact that it has the DJ arms and like 30 eyes on it. We do have stuff that vaguely, okay, the fact that it looked at me when I came up on it, just don't ever do that again. The fact that there is some vaguely humanoid looking creatures is kind of amazing. This guy over here already has a neck brace because he knows what happens whenever I get involved. So this is just the beginning. The amount of species is going up and down very, very swiftly. At the very least, some of these creatures began their lives as carnivores. I don't know how many of them remain. Wow, we've got some jacked up stuff. I mean, it's getting pretty far out there. Well, something humanoid came out of all this. I mean, if you just don't specifically look at his, you know, beer gut arms that are hanging out, it looks like something humanoid has decided to have sex with the Triceratops. So we have this. Triceratopses that are so strong they walk around on their hands. Got a family of grimaces over here. The only difference is instead of being, you know, colorful, they're just brown. You don't normally see this, but a lot of stuff is starting to walk on 2 legs. I didn't really think that this would be the greatest way to evolve, but I guess it's happening. So in order to find out our own natural selection, what I'm gonna have to do is start reducing the amount of energy that everyone gets from the food that they eat until like only a few creatures can survive on what's left on the map, and that'll show us who the most powerful being is. This place is just littered with the hellscape. You get to see them now, and how far have we come from the original potential? Man, there is a lot of triceratop head stuff. Move over here though, and you have the, what the hell? This is one of the biggest creatures I think I've seen. It's like a friggin' elk or something. It's almost a triceratops head, but whatever this, it's like its giant Dumbo ears. You can't even see its head. It's hidden inside of its massive barrel-chested body. Now it's flipping out and probably going to kill itself. These things over here have evolved to have massive shark fin tails. Sure, that's cool. Oh boy, what the hell is happening here? Oh my god. Oh my god, they're getting bigger. I didn't think that these creatures could ever survive for any length of time, but they are fighting. Their genes are just absolutely not wanting to give up. Look at this stuff. Hold on. I gotta get down here to look at this. Look at how horrifying it is. What the crap? They're not even, we don't do this realm, this place. Some of these things reach all the way up to the sky when they spawn. Again, they don't last for very long, but somehow they're lasting long enough to get other stuff pregnant, I guess, and then continue the species onward, if you could call this a species. It's almost like sky squids. Mother of Jesus. We've evolved sky squids. I think I'm starting to break the game. I kind of started to see some artifacting here and there. But hold on. I'm gonna slow things down for a little bit. It's almost like they're ghosts or something. Like, I don't even know what the stats are on this thing. What the hell? Yeah, I don't know. It says it's an herbivore with warty skin, but honestly, yeah, I wouldn't treat this thing like a cow. There's no way in hell my ass would be petting this. It is. They're sky squids. We have made sky squids. Their little tendrils dangled down to the ground, looking for other creatures to play with them. Man, the walking ass cheeks are living for a good long time now. What the hell is this? This is not a being. It's just a moving boulder. That's all this is. I don't know why this is considered a thing. I like how there's a few creatures, well, you know, air quotes. There's a few creatures over here that are at least somewhat normal, like what we used to see. Like over here, you know, this is what happens when you have, whatever, like an alpaca and a centipede that mate together. Or some sort of ram with a dolphin. Could happen. Evolution broke the game there for a minute, but we're back now. Oh my god. How many legs? It's got one tripod leg in the middle too. Well, I think that's a leg. If not, lucky him, I don't know. There is something roaming around down there that should probably not be alive. Just gonna let that do its thing. 38 species. So, okay, there it is. There's that thing, the weird spider ass creature. So I think we have some variety now. Whether or not it's the various triceratops creatures or the whatever the hell that is with the googly eyes on the front, or the crawling thing over here, 6-legged lizard beast. Got a really depressed no frog. The species are continuing onward now to 45 species. All right, it's time to start making this place a harsher land to live in. Land fertility. Kill it all, baby. Same thing with the water fertility. Let's get these species down a little bit. We've got plenty of them. Now it's time to find out who the king is. crazy that the numbers of creatures continue to stabilize. We're still at like 1,400, which means I haven't made the world deadly enough yet. Let's bring that land fertility down even further. Same thing with the water fertility. I think what happened is when I originally created all these creatures, they've gone through so many generations of hardship on every other episode of this game that they're just so used to being tortured at this point. It's just another day for them. Okay, so we had almost everything, damn near everything being an herbivore. Now that we've started to obviously take all the plants away and people have to, you know, eat other stuff with a face, although I don't know if you'd, you know, call that a face or not. Now we're starting to see some carnivores. Looks like everything's stabilizing right around 710. Not good enough. Yes, eat the meat of your friends. You know you want to. Okay, we're down to about 152, and necks are getting longer. This thing basically has a boa constrictor for a neck. All right, the creatures are stabilizing once again, back at about 160 or so. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. It looks like a punching bag, like one of those little pop-up punching bag balloon things with a tiny little head on it. Okay, this thing has the new winning neck size. Time to start going into the negatives. Screw this all the way down. I'm just taking all the damn fertility down. These things need to start dying because their ability to continue to survive is amazing. Remember the thing with the giant neck? It's a carnivore and it's squid-like. Okay. This thing's a carnivore too. Why did I see that coming? All right. So the problem now is that everyone has managed to continue to live on, which is going to make this kind of tough. So what I'm going to do is I need to start lowering the water down so that all the plants that are here from the water die. This way there's no other plants for these creatures to eat. Need to make life a little bit harder for them to find out who the most potent is. Look at this psychosis. It's just a huge amount of creatures fighting for the last bits of coral. Oh my god, I can't lower the water anymore. I guess I could try and freeze everything else out. There's a freaking tombstone here. I had no idea. There's just a tombstone sitting on top of this piece of desert. Okay, now we got it going on. Everything's pretty much dying at this point. There's only a few left. All right, we finally got it. 8 creatures left. 4 different species. Let's see what managed to become the most powerful creature of all of these beings. Oh no. Of course it's got the giant eyes on the front of its head. Why would the slightly less eyes? I don't really know. There's our Triceratops head, except this one's packing biceps. That's interesting. So all the way at the end, we didn't see any humanoid Triceratops for a while. And then all the way at the end, the last one that managed to survive has a humanoid body with a Triceratops head. And then this. I don't know. It's like a Triceratops doing sumo, or what do they call it? The Slav squat. So I guess like the traits that ended up allowing things to survive was a ton of aggression, which I would have guessed. 0 cowardice, so they fear nothing. They're not sensitive to climate, so I guess that makes sense. It's curious that the risk taking is so low. I would have thought that their ability to take risks would have been slightly better. This thing's like right in the middle of everything. It doesn't even really like to have sex that much. It takes a ton of risks though. Aggression, gluttony, it's brave, ignores temperature, all that makes sense. It also ignores every attempt of its wife telling it to wear better clothes. So yeah, we see a lot of the same traits over and over again. Warm-blooded, herbivore, gluttonous, aggressive, and brave. And that, I guess, that's what it takes to last all the way to the end of natural selection. Well, you all did very well. You did very well. But now the rest of you have to die. Okay, I'm serious. You need to die now. Like, we're at -2°C for the generic temperature of this place. How are y'all still alive? They're probably like, you made us gray. You can't kill us that easy. Bull crap, I can't die. -41°C, how? This is remarkable. These are the last few guys that are still standing. There we go. I think finally we've got the end of the world. Mass extinction. Congratulations, everyone. It took a hell of a lot, but we finally ended every life on this godforsaken piece of land. Well, folks, that's going to be it for this episode of Species. Hope you found Bill Cosby in there somewhere. Until the next time, folks, stay foxy and much love.